My boyfriend told me to lose weight or he'd leave. I started eating more in front of him. We'd been dating for almost 2 years when Brad said it. We were at his apartment watching TV, and I was eating chips. Normal Friday night. He muted the show, looked at me and goes, "Babe, we need to talk about your weight." I thought he was joking at first. I'm 5'6" and weigh 140 pounds. Completely normal. But he was dead serious. He said he'd been thinking about it for a while, and if I didn't lose at least 15 pounds, he couldn't see a future with us. My jaw literally dropped. I asked him if he was being serious right now. He nodded and said he was just being honest because he cared about my health. But here's the thing. Brad wasn't exactly a fitness model himself. This man lived on energy drinks and pizza rolls, never went to the gym, but suddenly he was concerned about my health. I should have dumped him right there, but I was in shock. Part of me actually considered it because I'd been with him so long and didn't want to start over. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about every time he'd made little comments, how he'd suggest salads when we went out to eat, how he'd pat my stomach and call it my food baby. I'd laughed it off before, but now it all felt different. The next morning I woke up angry, not sad, just pure rage. I decided I wasn't going to lose weight. In fact, I was going to do the exact opposite. If Brad wanted to play games, I'd show him what petty really looked like. That weekend I went to the grocery store and bought everything: cookies, ice cream, chips, candy, the works. When Brad came over Sunday afternoon, I was on the couch with a pint of chocolate ice cream eating straight from the container. He looked confused, asked if I was feeling okay. I just smiled and said I felt great. He tried to take the ice cream away, saying we talked about this. I pulled it back and took an even bigger bite while maintaining eye contact. His face turned red, but he didn't say anything else. Every single time Brad was around after that, I made sure to eat. And I'm talking really eat. We'd watch movies, and I'd order a large pizza just for myself. He'd come over for dinner, and I'd make a huge pasta dish and eat most of it. At restaurants, I'd order appetizers, entrees, and dessert. Brad kept dropping hints about portion control and healthy choices. I'd just nod and order another plate of fries. What Brad didn't know was that I was only eating like this in front of him. When he wasn't around, I ate completely normal. I was just putting on a show to prove a point, but he thought I was binge eating 24/7. After 3 weeks of this, Brad sat me down looking all concerned. He said he was worried about me and maybe I needed to talk to someone about emotional eating. I almost laughed in his face. I told him I'd never felt better, that eating whatever I wanted was actually really freeing. His eyes started twitching. He said this wasn't what he meant when he talked about my weight, that I was being immature and he was trying to help me. I asked him how criticizing my body was helping exactly. He couldn't answer. By week 5, Brad was getting desperate. He'd buy me gym memberships I never used, send me workout videos, even tried to cook me healthy meals that I'd eat 2 bites of and then order takeout. I could tell it was driving him insane. The final straw came when we went to his friend Kyle's barbecue. I showed up with a whole chocolate cake just for myself. Brad pulled me aside and hissed that I was embarrassing him in front of his friends. That's when I knew I had him. I smiled real sweet and said, "Well, if you're so embarrassed, maybe we should break up." His face went pale. He started backtracking immediately, saying he didn't mean it like that and he still loved me. But I was done. I told him I'd thought about what he said that night about losing weight, and I decided he was right. I needed to lose weight. About 180 pounds of dead weight. Him. I walked out of that barbecue with my chocolate cake, got in my car, and blocked his number. He tried calling me from his friends' phones, but I ignored all of them. Later, I found out from Kyle's girlfriend that Brad told everyone I dumped him because he wouldn't propose. Typical. The best part, though, was 2 months later. I ran into Brad at Target. He looked terrible. Apparently, he'd been stress eating since the breakup and gained like 25 pounds. He tried to talk to me, but I just grabbed my groceries and left. I'm dating someone new now who's never once mentioned my weight, and I eat whatever I want without performing for anyone.